Returning to my Coin Lady channel, I am pleased to see you again. A crypto bro has just been passed by the US Senate. When is this SEC person going to be here? In this episode, David Schwartz discusses XRPL. This is important for you to know. At the conclusion, we'll discuss X3 price and an SEC veteran will exclaim, guess what? Everything is coming to a grinding halt with these inquiries. We need to jump straight into today's agenda, because there is a lot of material to cover. But before we do, I would like to hear your thoughts. Hey, Frankie says to kick things off, hobbyists who frequent H-bars. Join us on February 25, 2025, in Denver, Colorado, for our first ever user conference, HederaCon. Sure thing, Frankie. I'll be the first to report on breaking news. You can count on me, H-bar devotees. According to Occam Flower, you managed to cram a ton of market intelligence and easily digestible psychological data into your personality and sense of humor. Class, you're doing a fantastic job. I really value it. Yes, I understand. The news, whether good, bad, cheerful, or a little bit naughty, speaking of which, happy, or thirsty, is what I bring you. On Thursday, every one of you. Digital currency. Sit at 96,002.99 and devour this. After dropping to 250 yesterday, 2715 XP is now at 260. We will discuss the cost. Litecoin is at a record high. Reasons why they are planning to invest in ETFs next. You have to hear this. The ETF news is huge. Sol is currently resting near 170 after a significant retracement. Charles claims that 8 is the universally accepted benchmark. It will not occur at 76 cents. So, let's go right in. Us. Verified by the Senate. Howard Lutnick, a Bitcoin supporter, currently serves as the Secretary of Commerce. Sure, that's great. I don't see the SEC and CFTC representative, though. Is this correct? As on Tuesday, February 18th, the Senate confirmed Lutnick with a 5,145 vote, which is extremely sluggish. Just so you know, what do you think of him when you see 5,145 votes? A single Republican cast a ballot. Every single Democrat cast a vote against it. So, are we collaborating? We certainly aren't. This is his exact wording. The global trading of Bitcoin ought to be unrestricted. Latin has already made a comparison to gold with this. At the Bitcoin conference, he defended Tether's USDT reserves, boasting that they were entirely supported by gold, Bitcoin, and the US Treasury. Tether will need to sell Bitcoin in order to comply with US regulations. Yeah, that's definitely going to be necessary. They will, therefore, A, earn less money. Additionally, B, due to the exceeding crypto values, they will need to sell the old Bitcoin eggs. Holy cow. Looking at the egg prices, I'm seriously going to have to go out to the country and acquire some farm fresh eggs, because, holy cow, I'm not going to pay $8 for a dozen. Why am I bringing this up? Because inflation is a worry, and it's not limited to eggs. On the whole, food isn't cheap. This is how this relates to cryptocurrency, so have a look at it and consider it. When you spend $8 on eggs, it's because you're not going to buy anything else that could be more useful. That's discretionary spending, too. That leaves little room in your budget for cryptocurrency if you're shelling out a ton of cash for things like eggs, gas, and this and that. It indicates that people's discretionary income is severely limited due to high rent, mortgage, or sex debt. I know, first-time home buyers. Devastating lows. The Bitcoin exchanges are in a terrible state. Alright, let's go over the macros again. Falling home values. The average number of days a home spends on the market is beginning to rise. These asset classes appear to be coming to a standstill, okay. We will have to eat the housing demand bubble sooner rather than later, therefore it would be bad if the home market was dull this summer. If most people are saying, yo, we're not going to buy right now because rates are too high, then you might see a 2% drop in housing prices, which is good news. Hey, guess what? They will patiently await a reduction in rates. Count me among them. In spite of my desire to purchase a second home, I am debating whether to do it this year, or the year after, since I just do not want to pay the associated interest rates. For the past couple of years, I've considered doing it, but I keep putting it off. No one should be rated. Very well, oh my, you have to read this from David Schwartz. He finally speaks up about the XRPL control claims. If you're interested, you may find a link to it in the description below. It's quite long. In essence, though, his point is that a group of people, a consensus, must have come to an agreement before Ripple can decide what happens on X, R, P, and L. It will be decided by a vote. Spectacular, wasn't it? Just as Stellar was about to launch their Sorbonne, they slipped through their own feet in the sand. And we're in agreement. No way are we going to do it. Yeah, but this isn't up to you, is a common response. Voting must be done by everybody. No, they insist, we're simply not going to do it. Some of these groups do have a ton of power, so you should use extreme caution. As with the majority of David Schwartz's posts, this does get little nerdy. Please see the link below if you would like to read it. By clicking the subscribe button below, you may help me reach my goal of 39,000 subscribers today, bringing us closer to 40,000. Approximately half, incidentally. Sorry, but you don't have a subscription. Crypto probes by regulators will come to a grinding halt, according to SEC veterans. Here, John Reed Stark is being discussed. It would be beneficial for XRP and Ripple if the SEC would instruct the SEC trial unit to halt all crypto-related litigation, settle or dismiss all crypto-related cases with defendant-friendly terms and none involving fraud, according to John Reed Stark, a former chief of the SEC Office of Internet Enforcement. This would be in line with what we've seen judges do, saying, no, this doesn't apply. You would like to read John Reed Stark's work again. There's a lot of text. If you're interested in reading the news, I'm bringing it with me. You may find the link to it below. What he basically does is go over the recent events and actions of the SEC in order to complete this. Discussing the SEC purge, the joint motion with Coinbase, the financial pause, the crypto task force, all of this points to the fact that, guess what? Everyone is going to undergo adjustments. However, the patience is the key, which is why I asked you this. We have almost 1,100 voters. Do you think the present pace of crypto-related regulatory appointments in the US is satisfactory? 65% of you think they are painfully slow. Such a bummer. Thus, consider that. About 2/3 of you are probably thinking, dude, this is terrible because of how sluggish they are, which is related to the question of cost. The price is causing them to expect more. As I mentioned before, Litecoin was a very popular cryptocurrency. Is there a top 20 cryptocurrency that is now trending? Year to date, Litecoin is up 31%, while XRP is up 25%. Basically, about 50 days. Alright, then consider that Litecoin is doing really well on ETF. Your attention in seeing my video is greatly appreciated. When you're done, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think.